Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. So we're going to be continuing our mini album die series in this video. So we're going to be working on a different style of page because we're moving up now into the bigger albums, so we can't have the same style of page that we've been seeing in the previous video where it folds over. So if you want to catch up on that, I will leave a little playlist down below, and there's also playlists on my channel. You'll be able to find it. It will be clearly labelled. So today we're going to be working on the landscape album die set. So the landscape is a little bit misleading because you can actually use this page here in the portrait orientation as well, which we will be covering in today's video. So I'm going to try and get as much stuff in this video as possible, and it is a bit dark. It's because of the white balance, so when I move that out of the way it will all be bright again. So let's fish out the die that we're going to be needing. And so this die here is going to be making your pages and your covers as well. So that is the die there. So you can either cut out two of these and then on one of them trim off these flaps here to glue them together. The reason why we don't have two separate dies for this is because it would really bump up the price, your purchase price and our purchase price as well for actually producing these. So as it's a simple rectangle, it's a simple measurement, it's a lot easier on everyone if you just cut out two of these, or you can manually cut them out. So that would measure, I'll put the measurements here, 9 inches by 6 3/8, and if you just want to go a little smidge underneath those measurements, you'll have the perfect size for creating this page. So let me show you what I mean. Just grabbing these two pieces of cardstock here. So I'm using it's by Creative Expressions, it's the Foundations card range, and I think this is sky blue. Let's have a quick look because I do get questions. No, it's baby blue. So this is the cardstock that I'm using here. It's absolutely perfect. It works really well with my die sets. Okay, so I've die cut this one here using that page die, and I've manually cut this out. I'll give you the measurements again. It's 9 inches by 6 3/8 of an inch. So you're going to be needing to cut these out. Let's get some numbers for you. So you need to cut, right, so you're going to be needing 7 sets of these. So that's 14 pages of A4 pieces of cardstock separately, but that makes 7 sets of these. So if you were even making this from scratch and you weren't using dies, the thing is with mini album making is you do go through a lot of cardstock, so do make sure that you have plenty of what you need. So yeah, so that's 7 sets of these, just to elaborate on that. So let's get this put together. So it does all of the scoring for you. So I am going to use a bone folder as well, so just simply fold those over. I'm just using a bone folder here, I'm just pressing those gently. Right, so I'm going to be using Cosmic Shimmer today. It's a wet glue, and you can also use I would recommend the red line tape, something like this one. I would try to avoid just the normal tape like this. Score tape, if you have it, would be excellent. I don't have any score tape, and I don't have a lot of luck with the other non-brand sort of white tape. So I like to use glue. It gives me a bit of wiggle room, and I just prefer it. It's more economical for me as well. So you can this will last me a good few months, depending on how much I'm crafting. So I've got my glue on this one here, this flat there. I'm just going to pop this down, and I'm going to make sure that it's level at the bottom, and I can just about see the score line. And if you do get a slight overlap because you have manually cut this, you can always trim that off. Right, so I'm just going to turn this over now. Just press that down as well. There we go, and then we can fold this together just like so. And now we can close this, so we will end up with a page with 2 open ends. So let's add our glue here, And another thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I get a good amount of glue, not too much, but a good coverage just here. Not so much that it's going to like ooze out of the top when we press it together. If you have anything loose flapping around here, it may hinder anything that you use for inside this page, because this is basically going to create a pocket. So I would like this edge here stuck down really well, but obviously not so much that it sticks the page together completely. So I'm just going to press that over, get my bone folder in again, there we go, and then I'm just going to make sure that I haven't actually got any glue coming out there. So I'm just going to take my bone folder in as well. Notice there's a little bit of if something is lifting up there, so I'm just going to press everything down. And there we go, everything is down nicely. So that is how you create the page. I'm just going to create a little bit more light here. I've got the curtain here. The sun is in and out today. There you go, the sun's just come out again. Okay, so I have here now the covers already done. We covered this already in previous episodes of this series, so you should know how to get to this stage already. If not, go back and just watch that particular video. And basically these front and back pages are exactly the same as what we have just made. So let's get this attached. So I'm using the small binding here, so let's grab that. Here we go. So this is the small ultimate binding and spine die set, and again there's video on how to put that together. So we're just working on these pages today. So let's get this added. So it's pretty much exactly the same as previous videos on how to get this put in. So I'm putting my glue, I'm going to put it on both sides. I like to start from the back and work my way forwards. Okay, so make sure that you have your album in the right orientation, opening at the top and at the side, and if you have any overlaps you can fix that if you want to. Mine seems to be okay because I was quite accurate with my cutting. So what we need to do is just slide that on. I'm not pressing down too hard at the moment, and what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I can still see the score line just here and that it is level with the top and the bottom, so everything is in line. So we want all of our pages to go on straight and not have wonky pages in the book. So now I'm happy with that. I'm now going to press that down just there. I'm going to turn it over, and then I'm going to press it down this side as well. Because I've used the glue, I do have a little bit of wiggle room. And there we go, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to get my bone folder now, which I've put down. I'm sure I'll find it in a minute. Here it is. Right, there we go. I keep putting things down and forgetting where I put them. So let's pop that down there as well. So this page is now ready to decorate or add pockets, add your photos, and we also have a pocket in the center as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly glue these covers closed, because we don't need pockets there unless you want to keep the pockets, then that's absolutely fine. You can leave those open, but always close these pockets after you have added your pages. Otherwise it's not going to assemble properly. Okay, so that is how you assemble the landscape album. So continue to add all of your pages. Right, so let's redo this in portrait. So I have a book that I've been working on. So here it is. This is the same album in portrait. As you can see, it's exactly the same size. Exactly the same size. We're just using it on its side. Okay, so this album that I'm working on, I'm going to show you the die sets that I've used so you know exactly where we are. I have used the large ultimate binding and spine die set, and I have an example here. It's too much purple, let's get rid of this. Right, so here is the example here. This is the die set cut out and assembled, and no trimming has been done. So this is going to be far too long to make our die set, but this will give you the option if you wanted to make a bigger mini album. I mean, it's not going to be so mini, it's going to be quite large. You have the option there. So it's going to take you full up almost to an A4 size. So let me measure that for you. Get the ruler the right way round. So this goes up to the full 11 inches. So if you can imagine, you can manually, if you love to make mini albums without using the dies, this would be absolutely perfect for an 11 by 11 mini album, which is pretty much almost a full-size scrapbook. So if you want me to make one of those using this binding system, let me know and I will get that done. If you can imagine, that's going to be absolutely huge. So anyway, I digress. So you may notice here we have all of these notches here. So all you would do before you assemble this binding is you trim up that line there, 9 inches. That is the height there for the landscape album. So you trim up the 9 inches and you go across. It might be better if I show you like this, and then you trim across and then you cut that, go down the other side. So you do that on all of the binding strips, and then you can assemble it, and it will be the right size for the album that we're working on today. So we're going to be adding another page to this one. Right, so I was going through the die sets. So I showed you would need the large ultimate binding spine die set, and you will also need the landscape album die set, and this is optional, but if you wanted extra pockets and lovely pretty things, we also have the landscape album die set editions. So here we have this beautiful pocket here, and this long die here is what is going to create this edge in here, and we have extra little things here for you to play with as well. We have waterfalls and pockets and ornate shaped labels and things, and that is basically how I made this album here. You can see all the lovely shaping that's got bent there, and you also get the wordings as well, and I've used the alphabet die set for this. I'm digressing again, I'm just showing off my lovely albums here, and you can make some lovely pockets and things like that, and the waterfall element here as well. So let's quickly pop in our page, our next page. So I have one already prepped, if I can find it. It's got lost under everything. I do like to pile things beside me. If anyone's the same, give me a thumbs up, let me know. Okay, so excuse me, here is the exact same page style that we were just working with. So we're going to turn it onto its side, so we have the opening at the top and the opening on the other edge there, and that is what is going to slide onto this hinge here. So let's get that all glued on. You may also notice, as this is the larger binding, it does have the hinges are wider as well. So am I making this album upside down? I just need to double check, because I have these lines at the bottom. I may have just assembled some of it upside down and some of it the right way around. You only need to go by the top opening of the pages. So yes, I am the right way around. I just put the spine on a different way. I'm just going to add glue to the other side. So I'm going right up to the score line, but I'm not going to be covering it. I'm hoping you can see it's a bit of a shadow now. Okay, another thing I need to mention is, as we're gluing this on the inside of the page, inside the pocket, it is going to take some room. So if you're adding any inserts, it needs to start after this hinge. So if you can imagine, the hinge is going to be glued on the inside here. So your insert will have to start from round about here, to going to that way. So you just manually measure it and then just test it inside. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same. Just going to slide that on right up to the score line, just test it, make sure everything is straight top and bottom. You can use your fingers and your thumb top and bottom just to make sure it's all lined up. And now I'm just going to press down, turn it over and press down. There is a reason why I don't glue it on in this position, because if I glue it on like this, just like that, then it's going to have trouble turning. But if you make sure it's all glued down and push down while it's lying down, you're going to have some really nice turning pages. Right, so that is how you assemble the page style. I'm going to call it style 2 because those I have two. Actually I have 3 page styles, and we'll be moving on to the additions in the next video. So that was style 2, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping it was informative and giving you the, if you want to try these out, just to give them a go. All the links for everything that I've used today will be down below, and there are bundles available as well as buying everything individually as well. So you can really mix and match and really tailor make, how you want to make your albums. So give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you again next time.